Knife. A. Always cut with the blade of the knife angled away from user. Never try to open a can or bottle with a knife or use a knife as a screwdriver. Don't use a knife to cut string, metal, or paper. B. Always use a cutting board and keep it firmly in place by planting a damp towel or paper towel underneath to keep it from moving around the countertop. Never cut anything that is placed in user's hand. Use the board and make sure it has ample space for the task. C. Use the right knife for the job, paring knives for paring, a chef's knife for chopping or mincing, a slicing knife for slicing, and so forth. D. Store knives properly. A knife block or knife rack is best. If storing knives in a drawer, make sure to keep them in a separate compartment. E. Knife surfaces must be kept clean. This will allow cleaner, faster and safer cuts. A knife that is not clean will not cut correctly and may cut in a different direction than intended. F. Do not hold the knife in your hand and wipe it with a cloth. If a knife must be wiped, put the knife on a hard surface and wipe one side at a time. G. If a knife edge has cracks, or chips missing from the edge, the knife should be disposed of properly. H. The handle of a knife should not have any cracks or chips in it. If the knife handle is damaged, it should be disposed of properly. I. Always cut away from your body when using a knife. J. When not in use, a knife should be kept in a sheath to prevent accidents. When the sheath is worn on a belt, it should be positioned on the hip so it won't interfere when the operator bends, kneels or sits. K. Knives must be kept sharp. A sharp knife will cut clean and accurately. A dull knife will require extra force, which may result in personal injury. L. Knives should be kept sharp by honing the edge and professionally reground when the edge has become too thick. It is very important when sharpening a knife not to overheat the blade, as excessive heat will draw the temper, and the blade will no longer hold its edge. M. Do not try to catch a knife that is falling, let the knife fall and then pick it up. N. Do not use a knife for anything other than cutting. O. If it happens to drop a knife, don't try to catch it. Step back alertly and wait until the knife comes to a complete rest before picking it up. Keep mind focused on the job when using a knife. P. Have a honing block or professional-style grinding wheel to keep knives sharp. A dull knife is more dangerous than a perfectly sharpened knife, as a dull knife may slip when struggling to cut with it, and damage the hands and fingers. Screwdrivers and pliers. A. Screwdrivers should not be used as chisels, punchers, wedges or pinch bars. B. Screwdrivers with broken handles, bent blade or dull or twisted tip may cause it to slip and cause an injury. Such tools shall be redressed or discarded. C. Craftsmen shall use approved insulated screwdrivers, spanners and pliers, etc. when working on or around live electrical equipment and batteries. D. Cutting pliers should be used only for soft material and never on hard metals or as nail pullers. E. Screwdrivers when used in electrical services shall meet insulation requirement mentioned under 6.3. Hammers. A. Always use a hammer of the proper weight and size for the task. B. User should select hammers for their intended use and use them only for those purposes. C. User should always strike hammer blows squarely with hammer striking face parallel with the surface being struck. They shall not use a hammer to strike another hammer. D. When striking other tools, face of the hammers should be larger than the strike face of the tools, approximately 1 centimeter. E. User shall not use a hard surface hammer to strike another harder surface. F. User shall not use a hammer with loose or damaged handle. Wooden handle shall not be replaced by a metal handle as it will not absorb impact. G. Discard hammer if it shows dents, cracks, chips, mushrooms or excessive wear. Redressing is not recommended. Wrenches, spanners. A. User should position himself in a way that he will not lose balance and fall. B. User should pull the wrench towards himself. C. Extension pipes should not be used on the wrenches as it can exceed design torque. D. Hammer shall be used only on wrenches designed for hammering. Hammer wrench shall be held in place by a rope or tongue and not by hand. E. Ring and box wrenches should be used wherever possible and use of open or adjustable spanner should be limited for light loads only. F. Pipe wrenches should not be used as spanners. Chisels and punches. A. Chisel should be large enough for the job and should be driven with a hammer of sufficient weight. B. Chisel should be held by a tongue when hammered on by another person. C. Mushroom chisels and cracked or broken chisel handles shall be replaced. D. When sharpening a chisel, original shape and angle must be maintained. E. Chisel with rubber guard shall be used for concrete or hard surface chipping. F. Punch should be straight and of suitable weight for the work. G. Punch should be started with light tap and held securely. H. When knocking out rivets and pins, work must begin with starting punch and end with a pin puncher. Other hand tools. A. Files should be equipped with handles of proper size. B. Proper size and shape of handsaw should be used. Teeth of saw and blade must be properly protected when not in use. C. Pieces of object being cut must be firmly held in place. If long pieces are being cut, a supporting bench or a helper must be used. D. The hacksaw blade teeth should point forward and aligned properly. E. Thin flat pieces should not be cut from edge to edge but should be securely clamped and cut so that several teeth are cutting at all times. F. When swinging the pick or mattock, ensure that the area at rear and to the sides are clear. G. Blade of shovel or spade should be sharp and free of jagged and split edges. Non-sparking tools. A. Non-sparking tools, made of non-ferrous material should be used while bolting and unbolting in hazardous area or working in areas containing volatile or flammable material. X. Brass hammer on wrench. B. Working edges of these tools should be inspected more frequently to ensure if they have picked up any foreign material, which could produce friction sparks.
Please give comment and suggestions.
Thank you.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank for visit our channel. See you next class.
Thank you.